You happy?
Yeah, good appointment. Always helps Philip Drummond in high regard.
Yeah, always said nice things. Always liked him. Yeah.
Big Belgian.
Yeah. Great. Norwich fans as well. What do you think? And obviously, whoever you support, 0885 909 693. I'd love to hear from someone that's happy with their club as well. Coventry fans. Let's hear from a Coventry fan. Someone that can give us some high Christmas spirit today as well. I'd love that, Chris, because the Coventry fans should be celebrating today.
They're rough, aren't they? They just are rough. Ipswich Town fans. I had a cup of coffee with my daughter's old teacher, Mr. Fields, ardent Ipswich fan. He says it's a little bit flat this season. Yet you look at the Championship and they're in third, and they're going all right. I actually thought they'd get automatic, but he said that there are some disgruntled Ipswich Town fans. Yeah, just it's all a little bit flat, but they're going all right. I suspect they'll hit form in the second half of this.
Mr. Fields gets a lot of mentions on this. He gets as many mentions as Forest Green on this show.
No, I don't think that's true. How did they get on today, Forest Green?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. But I know Rochdale won again, Chris, because I like to keep an eye on Rochdale. And Rochdale won again today to extend their lead at the top of the table. And today, Ian Henderson scored for Rochdale. Is that a name that you know? He is 40,
legend. Yeah, I think he was at Norwich years and years and years ago.
40 years old for Ian Henderson.
All
Forest Green got beat by Brackley Town.
Did they?
Yeah.
I was going to say, do the results come out on the same day?
I feel like you already knew that and you just wanted that mentioned.
I don't know. Forest Green fans, you lost today. Is your manager under pressure? 08085 909 693.
Give us a call, and fans of the National League, I love to speak to you. Right, we'll take as many of your calls no matter who you support, no matter what league your team is
they
in.
They are dropping like a stone. Forest Green.
Forest Green, but Rochdale leading the way. Big up the Greater Manchester team. So we'll take as many of your calls as we can until 8 p.m. tonight, and we'll do that after the news on 5 Live with Jill McKenzie.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
President.
Where I live in Shire, they got their own non-league side in the Western League. It's crazy.
Rob,
only about a mile or two apart. Well, I've been following Bristol Manor Farm since they got promoted into the Southern League, Chris.
Rob, I've got a story for you about Bristol Manor Farm. Our producer Simon used to go and watch Manor Farm, and he was a child, and he said that if the ball got kicked into the River Avon, the club would give them 5p to go and get the ball that he would spend on a Mars bar.
It would go over. I would fancy getting over into the River Avon for 5p.
I love that they had to collect the ball. I'm with you though, Rob. We're big non-league fans in my house. My dad only watches non-league football. I suppose the counter-argument would probably be, and this is what my dad would say, my dad doesn't like Premier League football, so it wouldn't matter to him if football was on TV or not.
But it's the extra people who get down. It's the same there's like football fans of all type of persuasion. Some people are just fed up with the Premier League, or they can't get to a league ground and they come down. But you're trying to get newer people to come in. So there's a big game on. You say, come down, make a little bit of a day out of it. And it's the margins at the bar for the takings. It's a traditional club with the social club and the football side.
I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of getting rid of the blackout. I like the blackout, Rob,
because the margins.
I think people should, on a 3 p.m. on a Saturday, people should be out at football.
It's the margins, because all it is that they got the bar and everything else. They got a big game on. If you're interested in that, you can stay around or whatever. But that's the whole point of non-league, because it's good social, And it's the margins at the bar takings. It's crucial for non-league clubs.
Rob, tell us about Bristol Manor Farm this season. How are they doing, your team?
Oh, right. After last season, manager left. They had to have and then a load of players left. It was a bit of a struggle because they had to completely recruit new players from all over the place. Struggle, but now about 12th.
So in
the league, so we're on the up. We're on the up. They had a complete rebuild.
Yeah. What's the manager's name now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Chris. I'm gone back. We're about 12th.
Right.
And it's been a struggle because we had a manager there about 12, 14 years, got us promotion from the Western League, got us into the playoffs and the playoff final to get up into the Southern Prem. Unfortunately, our chairman, the chair at the time, he passed away, legendary chairman, and we've had to get new people. It's, we had about 2 or 3 new chairmen in the season this year.
Right, blimey, that, yeah.
It's been a complete rebuild. The fan base is all solid. And up the Farmy Army, as we say.
The Farmy Army! Up the Farmy Army! Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much there. And I'd love to know, I thought I was in the minority, but Rob agrees with me, that we like the blackout. What do you think of the blackout? Do you think that the blackout should be removed in years to come? It's 08085 909
Can we just go back to that story about Simon, our producer? So he's claiming when the ball was booted over the fence into the River Avon, he would be given 5p if he went and retrieved it. What about health and safety?
I mean, it was that long ago. 5p bought you a Mars bar, Chris. I imagine there was no health and safety.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
early 70s, Chris, health and safety didn't exist.
Did anybody get in the River Avon with Simon?
Chris wants proof, producer Simon, that someone got in the Avon with you and that you got the ball. The ball would get stuck in the mud, apparently, on the banks, Chris, and they'd go and retrieve it from the banks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you believe Simon?
Well, no, because Simon writes fake news, and you know that I can never do that. So, no, I tend to not believe Simon. Now, we want to talk Norwich, Chris. Obviously, Norwich City. City.
I've let you get away with that once, but come on.
Why?
Little bit of respect.
Why?
You don't say Manchester, do you?
Well, is there 2 league clubs in Norwich?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's respect, Nat. Come on, you're better than that. Come on.
Really?
Yes,
we say Newcastle.
Norwich City.
Which
is more important?
Come on, Chris.
Which is more important, Norwich or Manchester? Norwich City.
But Manchester has 2 clubs, Chris. Come on, you're better than that, Chris. Come on.
Have a bit of respect now. Come on.
Chris, we say Newcastle. Do you say Newcastle United or do you say Newcastle?
Newcastle United.
Do you say Leeds or do you say Leeds United?
Leeds United.
No, you don't. You say Leeds and Newcastle.
Leeds United.
No.
Newcastle United, Norwich City.
I'm not having it. I'm going to say Norwich from now on. Do you say Ipswich or Ipswich Town?
Ipswich doesn't matter.
Oh!
Come on now.
Well, Chris, Norwich are still second from bottom in the Championship. Norwich City are second from bottom in the Championship. But their 3rd home win in a row today. Of course, they beat Charlton 1-0. Their new manager, Philip Clement, who you are a big fan of, Chris, spoke about how he has changed the mood since taking over.
I've done that with everybody together. It's not only what I've done. It's we have a lot of good staff. We have a lot of good potential in this squad, and it's about hard work every day to make everything clear, to make everything good, and to build as a team. So, positive result today. Still a lot of things that we can improve and make better, but we start to dominate much more games, and that's the football I want to see.
The result delivered by Jovan Makama, that's 4 goals in 3 games for him. Talk us through a little bit what you see in him.
Still a young player with a lot of physical potential, it's clear, with his height, with his body also. He had to reduce weight, so we worked on that the last couple of weeks also. For me, it was not slim enough, and we still have work to do to make him a Premier League player, but he has the potential of that, so he has a lot of physical potential. He's starting to understand better the important tactical things during games, how to use his body, the positioning, the connection with others. But his most important qualities that he's been learning, he's been open for every suggestion from the staff and everything that the staff has showed him in videos or in the trainings. And he's taking that on board every game and like this growing as a player. So those are the types you need.
So that was Philip Clement speaking to Mark Webber.
We all have to reduce weight, don't we, around Christmas time? No, don't we? We all do that, don't we? After Christmas, we all have a big Christmas day. A few mince pies. How many mince pies did you have yesterday?
Oh, I hate mince pies, Chris. They're horrible.
Oh, God.
Oh, mince pies are wrong.
Really?
Oh, I don't like them in the slightest.
What's your pudding?
Well, I had Oh, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. Oh, you didn't know if you were getting a bit
Christmas
of apple.
pud? You're not Christmas pud?
No, I'm vegetarian as well, so I don't do turkey. Super interesting. Just to update you on something that is interesting, Chris, Wrexham have equalised. It's now Wrexham 3, Sheffield United 3. Ryan Longman there. It's into the 58th minute.
Then?
I had a vegetarian Wellington.
Well, what's in the
So
veg?
it's like pastry, and then there was veg inside it. It was lovely. And then I had all the normal trimmings.
Yeah.
Roast potatoes.
What's the veg inside it? Like
I don't know.
Turnip?
I don't know. It was kind of mushed together a bit.
So
I'm
you
not
don't- you
selling
don't
it, but it
actually know
tasted
what
really nice. Yeah. I didn't make it. We went out.
Sounded nice, like turkey.
We went out, Chris. It was lovely.
Yeah,
it was very nice. Yeah. Reggie had vegetarian sausages.
You know, Rob has nut roast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
nut
big
roast.
into that. I don't think he was the other year, but anyway, this
Very
year
nice.
he is. I wonder why.
Oh, really? Okay. Yes. Okay. Very nice. Well, I'm a big fan of Forest Green's food. When I went there last year, it was lovely. Being vegetarian, it was very nice. What did you have?
What, turkey.
Turkey, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk football? Or should we do Norwich?
We're talking, well, we just heard the manager, Philip Clement.
We've got a Norwich fan on the line. First of all, Becky, good evening. Are you offended if I call your team Norwich?
No, not at all, because there's only one Norwich.
Thank you, Becky.
Isn't there,
Thank
Chris?
you.
That's right, Becky. Becky, did you have a nice Christmas?
Yes, thank you. And a rather good day today, thank you.
Did you a bit of turkey, Becky?
Of course.
Yeah.
Norfolk.
There you go, Norfolk. Yep. So what a beautiful day yesterday and today.
Day.
And so come on, tell us about Philip Clement and the atmosphere now at Carrow Road since he's taken over.
Well, it's worlds away from what it was a few weeks ago. He's bringing out the best of the team. He's bringing out the best of the fans. We're all in it together, and we're going to stay up, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly galvanised the club since he has come in. Did you go to the game today, Becky?
I did. I was in the Barclay behind the goal.
Great stand, Nat. Have you been to Carrow Road?
Yeah.
Nat?
I have been to Carrow Road, actually.
Were you there when we beat you 3-2 the other year?
Oh, no, I don't recall that, no.
Can you remember that one, Becky?
Of course. Gosh, who could forget? Who could forget?
Yeah.
Sure.
That was a day and a half. So come on. Come on. What was the atmosphere like today?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The players, we're just coming together. We're coming together, and they're giving us what we want to see. We're cheering them on. We're singing all the time. It's just such a feel good factor. The confidence is high. I'm pretty excited about what lies ahead.
You think you can get out of the drop zone?
Yeah, I do. Definitely.
Yeah, would you? I mean, tell us where you were like a couple of months ago, Becky, with that. With the start to the season, difficult start, and of course change of manager. And where's the Norwich support at with Ben Napper now, the sporting director?
Well, we're not calling for him to be out, but I guess the players that he's brought in are now turning into players, and they're giving us, exciting football. This is how it should be. But I really do think a lot of that is down to Philippe Clement, for sure.
And give us a position now where you think Norwich City will finish in the table, Becky. Come on, Becky. Come on, you can do it.
I mean, at the moment, we're going to take each week as it comes, and I think the only way is up. I mean, we're in a position that we shouldn't be in, but even the games that we've
too big a club to be down there.
Very much
no
so,
such
very
thing.
Much so.
No such thing as too big a club to be down there.
What do you mean?
You don't perform. You don't perform.
Come on, come on. One of the biggest clubs out there.
Quite right.
Out where?
For sure.
Norfolk.
Come on. Hey, don't disrespect Norfolk, Nat. Come on. You're better than that. Becky, whereabouts do you live?
Just outside Bungay, Norfolk side.
Bungay, lovely. Hey, you ever been to Bungay, Nat?
I have never even heard of it until this moment. I think Becky's got someone else on the line. I can hear her phone beeping. Becky, someone calling you?
No, that was my
is that
phone.
yours,
That was
Chris?
my phone beeping. I think maybe my pal in Bungay. I played cricket at Bungay all those years ago. Lovely little place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thanks for the call,
Thanks, Becky.
Enjoy your
Becky's
evening.
from Bungay.
Cheers,
Thank you,
Becky. Do you know she's onto something, genuinely onto something. I know you we're poking a little bit there. Now, Norwich City under Philip Clement have the difference he has made is absolutely incredible.
Is it tough for you, Chris, or do you just have to wipe his past managerial CV?
What do you mean?
Obviously, being at Rangers.
No, that's not a problem. I mean, he won a trophy at Rangers, and he started really well, but you always know what happens. That they always come a cropper, don't they? Rangers managers in recent times, and then that's what happened with him. But that if you sort of scratch beneath the surface and you look at his managerial record overall, he's been a successful manager, and it's a really good appointment so far for Norwich City. Hence why the Canary fans are happy now.
Give us a call, Canary fans, indeed, whoever you support, 08085 909 693. Before we go on to our next caller, Coventry fan, Chris, can I quickly tell you about my accident that I had today, in case you're looking at me a bit weird, if you can see me. I wonder if anybody's had a similar Christmas accident today or would like to share their Christmas accident stories. So I don't know if you can see my eye. This eye looks particularly weird today, Chris.
No, I always thought that eye was weird.
Yeah.
But go on.
I've put a lot of makeup on top of this eye today to try and hide it, but I have a black eye because I got whacked in the eye today with a lightsaber. My son got 2 new lightsabers for Christmas and absolutely walloped me in the eye. I screamed so loud, Chris, I thought I'd lost my eye.
Oh, dear. Was there any blood? I can't see any.
No, but there's a blood blistery bruise all on the top of my eye, and it's all swollen up.
But you buy stuff like that, it's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was Anakin, and he was a Jedi, and he was trying to get me to come back to the light.
How did it? I mean, was it the end of it then, or did you?
I presume it was the end of it because I've got a very specific round bruise on the top of my eyelid there, Chris, which is
So you didn't go back in like for.
I may have thrown the lightsaber and it may have broken, and I may have had to order another one immediately on Amazon to appease him. Anyway, that is why I look a bit weird if you are seeing me today, or if you see me in the next week or so. That is why I have a black eye. Okay, let's go on to Paul. Paul is a Coventry fan, and I was calling for some positivity today, and I imagine, Paul, you are full of Christmas cheer.
Hi guys, yeah, definitely. We're just driving back down to Wales from the Midlands, and my son George, he was just sat here saying, "God, everyone's moaning here." So let's give him a shout and give him a bit of good positive news story.
Thank you, George. Yeah. Yes, go, Paul. Give us positivity.
Well, what can you say? I mean, there's been you hear fans from the likes of Portsmouth, Leicester. Leicester is struggling a little bit, I suppose, but then you look at Coventry and where they've been in past times, when you go back into the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, to where they ended up in League Two, and pretty much out of business. Where I looked at some figures not so long ago where they were playing at Sixfields in Northampton, and the average crowd was 1,800 there. A lot of Cov fans wouldn't go. A lot of Cov fans sat outside on the hill out there watching the team, and there was a lot of things going wrong at that point. But what a turnaround! And I think that's one thing you can say about Coventry. If there's any club out there and fans that are really, really struggling with what's going on in their clubs, just look at Coventry. The turnaround there has just been incredible, and we will be in the Premier next season without a doubt. It's so yeah, that's it. Good news stories, eh?
We love a good news story.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Big question though. Where's part-time Robbie tonight?
Yeah, well, he's licking his wounds. I think they were beaten today. Forest Green. So he may not be on 606 for another month, I think.
Yeah. Drowning his sorrows. That's it.
Yeah. But no, in fairness to him, he's had a pretty good start, and it's tight at the top of the National League, and I think I'm told he's back on Sunday. Whether he turns up or not will be another thing. But
who knows?
Just tell us. I mean, you've told us about Coventry City when you were playing your games at Sixfields. Were you going across to Sixfields then to watch the team?
I went there once. Yeah, I went there once. I think the Blues, when they were at Birmingham, I went there as well. But I think there's an awful... I mean, there was such a lot of things going on with the owners at the time. You know, again, you can... and a lot of the fans, they just boycotted it, really. And I think some of that's understandable. There was a core there, certainly. But again, you look at the core now, it's probably the same core of fans in Singers' Corner that are still there. But
did you lose fans? Sorry for butting in. Did that period? Do you think you? I mean, I don't know how you'd actually know that sort of stuff. But do you think you
No.
Coventry City fans, you would have lost fans during that period, or they were just...
Wouldn't have lost. I think they lost the club lost the support, or the owners lost the support of the fans. I think when you support a football club, you support them through and through, don't you? That never changes. So and I think these days now, my kids are 11 and 13. They're full on Coventry fans. Okay, we're lifelong. So my granddad, dad. They had playing involvement going back in time as well. So it's kind of I used to joke and say it's supporting Coventry is like an affliction, but you look at it now, it's not that. Now, if you support a club, you support a club through and through, don't you? I would have said.
And when you go back to last season, you were so close in terms of getting back to the Premier League. Do you think it's this may sound really stupid? Do you think it's been a good thing that you didn't go up last season?
Well, it depends. Yeah, it's a good question, because you look at where Sunderland are, and let's face it, we were a kick away from from penalties in the playoffs. We beat Sunderland away. That's through and through. So you never know, do you? I would say that the concern I would have really for going into next season, I think we've probably got 5 or 6 players that will hold their own in the Premier, but it's just such a jump, isn't it, to get up there. But to be fair to the club at this and the players at the moment, they're struggling with illness, and they have been for like 2 or 3 games there. We're still winning. You can only beat who's put in front of you the next game, and we seem to be doing that, one way or the other, and I think that's the thing. But to your point, last year it would have been incredible if we'd gone up there. The previous year, it was the same in against Luton in the playoffs. We've been so close, but I think this year there was just something about it. I think people talk about Frank Lampard as manager, but there's got to be a lot to be said about Joe Edwards there as well. I think in the background, he's like obviously he does a lot more in the background. But the big change that's happened this season is the core of the club, the core of the players. Still the same, okay, we have Matty Grimes that's come in, who is incredible, in terms of, how he controls the game, pure and simple. But we've added there's not many players that have come into the club, into the team. But I think when you've got Frank Lampard in your changing room, somebody like that, the likes of Radoni, he's just, I would say Matty Grimes came to Coventry because of Frank Lampard, and he's just raised the game. If you can raise your game by 2 or 3% in that level of sport or business or whatever it might be, that's the difference. It really is, and I think that's what he's brought to the club. So hopefully, when we do get back
a more direct football, we're getting crossed into the box. Ryan Giles, our left back, has got the most assists in the Championship. We've got 2 of the top scorers. Joe Gelhart's got 10 goals.
Country boss Frank Lampard says he's pleased with how things are going.
It's very.
Was it Robinson Crusoe? Am I right? Ben Gunn? Cheese? What did he call Cheese? A little piece of heaven.
I have no idea. Man who people were desperate to play for England. They were calling out for him to play, and he did. He started in the Euro final for England less than 18 months ago. To now be at the point where he can't start for a mid-table Premier League club, I think that is the question that people want to understand. Is that not the mid-table?
No, it's not.
No?
It's higher than mid-table.
We hopefully will be better after this game than a mid-table club. That's quite a statement there, Leslie.
Yeah, but I think that's the question. What has happened? How can you decline so much in 18 months?
It's a good question. I don't have a specific answer to that. But what I think personally is maybe he saw, Rashford left Barcelona and he's performing more or less okay. The Garnacho is starting for Chelsea. McTominay is winning with Napoli. But when we need to come back and listen to McTominay's interview, and they asked McTominay, okay, do you think that when you left Manchester United, you start feeling less pressure, or they treating you better in Napoli? And his reply was very, very genuine. He said, there's no one in Manchester United who wants you to fail. We are given everything at training. We have nutritionists. We have people who are explaining us tactics. No one wants you to fail at the club. It's your own attitudes that leads you there.
Yeah, it was a really interesting response from McTominay on that. Thank you so much, Artem. There, the Manchester United fan. Good call. 08085
These modern players, these spoiled modern players. I mean,
were you not spoiled, Chris?
The modern players far more spoiled than the players from my time. Not so long ago, but I mean, Artem said it. I did not my words, but. Just repeating them.
Artem said it. We're going to try and get through as many. The phone lines are going wild now, Chris. We're going to get as many calls as we can in now. We're going to go to Andrew, who's a Stoke fan. Good evening, Andrew. What's going on? Give us an update on what's happening at Stoke. Good evening.
Yeah, I probably spoke to you. I think it would be probably late or probably early October, and we were second or first in the table, going well. We just probably had a bit of a stumbling block. I think possibly actually since we lost Lewis Baker to an injury against Coventry. And since he's been out, we lost 6 out of 8. And what I would say is we've had poor results, but not necessarily poor performances. I think we're just missing the clinical edge at the final third. Either we're making the wrong decision, passing rather than shooting rather than passing, or the passes overhit, something like that. And I think it's frustrating when you're so close. But and I've seen the Championship, it is very tight. I mean, we're 4 points off third and 4 points off 15th, something like that. So it's really, really tight.
I actually I've got to hold my hands up. I didn't realise you'd been on that bad a run. You've got the best defensive record in the Championship.
Correct.
But just looking at, I mean, you are right. The goals, the goals for just 28. That seems 28. To be the issue. So is it going to be what happens in January for Stoke City?
I think it is, Chris. I think we've got Divine Mubamba, who's on loan from Man City, who started off like a house on fire, and then he's lost a little bit of confidence. I think you can see that in his play actually sometimes when he should be making a run towards 6-yard area. And then we've got Robert Bosniak, those two have been interchanged and keep trying each one. Bosniak holds the ball up very well. He hasn't put the ball in the back of the net yet, which I suppose for a striker is pretty valuable, as you know yourself. And so we're just missing that cutting edge in the final third. And I'm not sure either of those two are the answer. So I think if we could, we need to do a little bit of clever business in the January to turn that around, I think.
And is it one of those? Are you one of these Stoke City fans? This may sound ridiculous, Nat may get angry about this, but do you actually? There's a lot of supporters in the Championship who want their team to stay in the Championship, but then you sort of look at what Sunderland have done this year, and you may be a bit of an outlier, Sunderland, in terms of them. The recruitment
Chris,
was good.
There's fans of clubs in the Championship that don't want to get promoted.
Because they win games in the Championship, and if their club went up to the Premier League, I mean, look at Southampton last season. Why are you looking so confused now?
Why would you not? So you want your team to win games, but not too many games?
I'm just saying there are a lot of fans in the Championship who would rather their team show that they're competitive in the Championship than get walloped and have the misery of the Premier League.
Andrew, are you one of those?
No. I mean, what I would say is that you just think, are we too soon to get up there? That might be an argument, because if you think about the last 5 or 6 seasons, we've been battling with relegation. Mark Roberts has definitely turned things around. Only with a couple of additions do we look a far better side than we were before. However, you would never turn down the opportunity to play in the Premier League, because we can't spend the money in the Championship, but if we went up with the money that comes in there, we'd be allowed to spend a bit more of the money, and that would help us out. And what we've seen so far from Mark, when he's brought players in, he's made some good decisions. I mean, Aaron Cresswell at left back's fabulous addition. Look at Zorba Thomas on the wing, who's really good. So we've got recruitment right at last, which we haven't had for a few seasons. So I think if we did go up, we could give it a fair shout, because we've got a bit of buying power. But not sure we'd ever turn it down. But I can understand a little bit of what Chris is saying, is that you go up there and the gap now between the Championship and the Premier League is massive. Don't forget, we spent 10 years in the Premier League, and when we went up, there were sort of people who said you'll never stay up there. We stayed there for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think the difference now, if we went up now, that gap has got bigger. So the challenge is far bigger than it was when we went up back in many years ago. So that's the difference. I think now the gap has got so vastly big now.
But
with the money
Sunderland are showing it can be done. Absolutely. Yeah. Andrew, thank you so much for the call. Thank you, Andrew, the Stoke fan. I would love to speak to a fan of a club in the Championship that doesn't want their club to get promoted, please.
But not all clubs can buy success now.
Who's buying success in the Championship?
I'm just saying not all clubs can go to the Premier League and buy their success.
Are you suggesting Sunderland are buying their success?
No, not Sunderland.
Who's got promoted that's buying their success, Chris?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying historically.
Historically?
Some clubs have sort of, spent a lot, and that's why they've been successful.
Yeah, I think historically the clubs that have spent the most.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit. Well, I don't know why you're so on the back foot. I mean, what's wrong?
I just felt like I needed to defend Sunderland fans there, if that's what you were talking about, Chris.
It wasn't Sunderland, absolutely not.
08085 909 693. Are you in the Championship and don't want to get promoted? Do give us a call. We've got Tony on the line now. Tony's team, Lincoln City, are in League One, and I'm suspecting Tony very much wants to get promoted to the Championship. A 92nd minute penalty gave you a win at Stockport today, Tony.
Yeah, it was brilliant. 13 points out of the last 5 games, setting the league, punching above our weight, as we always do in League One. But a low bottom 6 budget, yet we're second in the table. Brilliant home record, and we got a first away win for 3 months today as well, away to Stockport, who are 5th. So, we're flying. Absolutely brilliant first half of the season. And credit to everybody at our club, both on and off the pitch. They're doing a brilliant job.
Yeah, it's a brilliantly run club. I was at the game against Chelsea in the League Cup earlier this season, and you really push them very, very close. You've got a very intelligent manager, haven't you?
Yeah, well, head coach. Yeah, we've got a director of football who's very astute and made some very good signings. And we have a philosophy to win and develop. So win football matches, develop players and move them on and make money to keep the club sustainable. And, we gave Chelsea a good game first half. If we'd taken the chances, we could have knocked them out. But they came good in the second half like they did against Cardiff last week. But We lost some key players during the summer. Jovan McCarmer, of course, to Norwich City.
He's doing well there.
I did say City. He's doing very well. We realise that because he's a big lad. He's very fit. He's a physical lad. He's got all the attributes to be a top player, and he's doing really well in the Championship. But we've lost our top scorer this season already for the rest of the season. And Michael Skabala, the head coach, who had a brief spell as caretaker manager at Leeds about 3 years ago, he's a really nice guy, and he's come in and he's doing a great job. It's fantastic. His tactical awareness during games, changing things, has got us results. We've got a lot of experienced players now who are very resilient. If we concede a goal like a bit of a dodgy penalty, we conceded the equaliser too early in the second half today. And the players just go from strength to strength. They bounce back and getting a winner in the 92nd minute. And some really experienced pros: Tendai Dorico, Adam Reach, Sonny Bradley, and.
Thank you, Tony. Tony, thank you so much for the call, and a safe journey home all the way to Lincoln from Stockport. Are they one of your clubs, Chris?
Yeah, well, I was manager there. It's good to see they've got a manager or a head coach in there who knows what he's doing.
It's at Lincoln there, 2-1 victory at Stockport today.
They could.
Second in League One.
Yeah, well, imagine if the club got into the Championship. It's they've got really good. They've got smart people there at the club now who back the team financially. They know what they are. Superb stadium. So I'm genuinely delighted to see them doing well.
How long were you at Lincoln for, Chris?
Not long. A year.
A year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Great success.
Great success. Well done, Chris. Well done, Lincoln. Now, Chris, just before we came on air, I saw a story breaking about a big name player that has been linked with a manager's job. I don't know if you saw this breaking literally just as we came on air, because, of course, Oxford United sacked their boss, Gary Rowett, just before Christmas. And today, caretaker manager Craig Short led them out for a 2-1 victory over Southampton. So, name that has just been linked with them is John Terry. I'll get your thoughts on that in just a second.
I get so nervous, I get this, the responsibility for a manager when you're a coach in that level. You can sit back and relax sometimes, and I realise now, in the brief times I've done this, how strenuous and stressful it is, and once the game gets started, I'm fine. I'm probably let my emotions get carried away myself a few times in the fourth, but I feel as though we're underdogs. Sometimes we don't get what we deserve at times, but yeah, I can't fault the lads. It's a feeling of euphoria. There's every chance you'll be brought back down to earth pretty quickly, but I've really enjoyed today, and I think the players have as well.
Christmas is a frantic, busy time, most of all for you. While we're all enjoying our pigs in blankets, you were plotting a game plan that was executed really well today. How pleased are you with the performance and the way your team took on board instructions in such a short turnaround time?
Well, we had a bit of luck today. We had to defend well for all and of course, when you're playing a team that's just come out of the Premiership, you're going to have to do that. But I was a little bit, the first 20 minutes I was a little concerned. We seemed to be a little bit passive and a little bit giving them too much respect, even though we wanted to be like a mid-block team. We couldn't go chasing high up the pitch. And then your fans start to get a bit frustrated. You don't go after them. Towards the end of the game, the game seemed to be a bit chaotic, but they raised themselves today and they got more and more confident. I just spoke to a couple of them in there, the younger ones, Luke Harris and Tyler. They said they felt confident, enjoyed it. If you're enjoying it, then you're full of confidence. And if we'd have got a point, I think I'd have been happy, but I really desperately needed to get the win because we don't want a gap opening.
That was the caretaker boss of Oxford, Craig Short, speaking after their 2-1 victory over Southampton today. Now, John Terry is being linked with that full-time Oxford job. I'll get Chris's thoughts in just a second, but we
Welcome to our audio commentary. Welcome to our audio commentary coverage.
Dalot goes inside to Cunha, but it's been stolen by Gordon, who plays in Voltemade. He gives it back to him, and the second touch from Gordon just eludes him. And now Mason Mount can stretch his legs and go over halfway. Mount comes forward, finds Dorgu high on this right-hand side again. Dorgu cuts inside on his left foot, forces to go back towards Dalot. Dalot inside to the incredibly experienced Casemiro, who finds Ugarte. Ugarte inside the centre circle with plenty of time. Just comes back to young Aidan Heaven, who gives it back to the Uruguayan international. Ugarte finds Cunha out on the left-hand side. Cunha goes back to Ugarte, all very slow paces. Ugarte lifts one in towards Luke Shaw. He's made a run down the left-hand side, and he's going to battle with Lewis Miley, and it's going to go behind for the first corner of the evening inside 2 minutes to Manchester United. Plenty of players coming forward for the home side in their traditional red shirts, white shorts, and Mason Mount's gone over to the left-hand side to take this corner, so will be a right-footed in-swinger. Mount with his left arm lofted, steps forward and swings it in, swinger in towards Casemiro, who gets up highest, and he'll be disappointed that that header goes over the bar. Ended up being a free header just outside the corner of the 6-yard box for the Brazilian, and he almost just got up a little bit too early, and that is a good chance for a man of his calibre. Already 4 goals in the Premier League this season, and to not hit the target and he'll be incredibly disappointed. But already returned. It's almost looking like a complete change of shape for Manchester United this evening. They seem to have caught everyone by surprise. It's almost looking like a back four with Dalot, Heaven, Martinez and Shaw. And Dorgu playing high on this right-hand side. So big surprises from Ruben Amorim. Doesn't often change formation, if at all. We'll keep an eye on that. But it is Heaven who's playing as one of these two centre-backs. It goes to Martinez. Martinez plays a left-footed ball out towards Dalot in the full-back position. Clips a lovely ball into midfield for Casemiro to then try and set Sesko away. Sesko gets there before Chow. Forced back towards Dalot. Dalot just spins around and gives that to Heaven. Shaw providing plenty of width on the left-hand side. Martinez wants to use him, but Newcastle with plenty of players back behind the ball. Play a lovely ball direct into Dorgu. Plays a 1-2 with Mount and goes to grounds. Referee Anthony Taylor says no foul, and Newcastle will come away with possession. It's Miley who finds his centre-back, Chow. Newcastle just happy to knock it around with Fabian Schär just outside his own penalty area. The Swiss former international, not played for his country since 2024, but incredibly experienced. Malik Chow then goes right to Lewis Miley. Miley with Guimaraes in front of him plays a nice 1-2 with Walter Made, who's going to try and set Tonali free down the right hand side. He's going to have to really battle to keep this in, but good defending from Lisandro Martinez. Just steps across the Italian. That will go out of play for a goal kick. 5 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Newcastle United 0. The only Premier League fixture on Boxing Day this year. Definitely raised a few eyebrows when the fixture list came out. But with tomorrow being a Saturday, the Premier League decided to keep the majority of the fixtures to that day to help with the heavy congestion around Christmas time. Manchester United try and play their way out with a long ball to Sesko, who finds Dorgu playing on this right hand side this evening. He's forced backwards to Heaven. Heaven finds Martinez and trades passes. Voltemade applying a little bit of pressure, but some nice footwork from the yellow boots of Heaven for playing a 1-2 with Dorgu, and Aidan Heaven will find himself inside the Newcastle half before running out of room, and that will be a throw into the away side just in front of the away team's dugout. As we see Eddie Howe in brief conversations with his assistant Jason Tyndall. I think they've definitely been caught by surprise by this formation change from Manchester United this evening. Eddie Howe with a great record against Man United. Won 5 of his last 6 in all competitions. We'll be hoping to extend that this evening. So Manchester United suffering double defeat to Newcastle last season. Ball goes into midfield, and it's Lewis Miley who plays it outright to Murphy. Murphy finds Guimaraes, who's always happy to run, but a lovely tackle back from Casemiro. Breaks play up, but Newcastle will turn it over. It's all a little bit scrappy in that midfield at the moment. Martinez will get his foot on the ball and pass it left to Luke Shaw. Shaw forced to go back to Martinez, and good press from Newcastle force a throw in the left back position for the home side. They try and take that quickly, but referee Anthony Taylor would like that to be taken again from much further back. Luke Shaw asked to just go back towards the assistant referee. Shaw just taking his time and drying the ball on his shirt. And that seems to be the case. The cynical in me so far this season. Aaron Ramsdale, who hasn't touched the ball, is down on the floor holding his hamstring. And that allows Eddie Howe a little bit of time, I'd say, just to try and rejig the troops. Nick Pope does go out for a customary warm-up, as we see Aaron Ramsdale picking up some attention from the Newcastle physio. See Ramsdale on loan from last year's relegation team Southampton. It is his 8th start in a row this evening. And you can see the Newcastle players have got together and they are definitely sharing some tactical information. Tonali the most vocal in that centre of midfield. Gordon's in there as well, just trying to marshal the troops. So some very clever tactical play, I'd say, from Newcastle's keeper there. But who knows? Aaron Ramsdale, all in blue, is up on his feet. And we are ready to go again. So be Luke Shaw, halfway inside his own half on the left-hand side. Throws that down the line towards Casemiro. Tries to flick it on. But Tonali can just step in and knock that back to Shaw, who returns it to Aaron Ramsdale. Put that hamstring to good use. And Shaw's played himself into a bit of bother. And Cunha's going to attack the box and plays it back to Ugarte, who's gone to ground, nothing given, and Shaw whips the ball into the box. And Newcastle can scramble it clear through Voltemade. Ugarte hit the floor, but there wasn't any sort of shouts from the home side, definitely the players anyway, for a penalty. So we will play on. It's a good footwork by Hall in a left back position, but then turns himself into trouble. Mason Mount really battling back and wins the ball high up the pitch for Man United. Dorgu on the right hand side is going to run towards the edge of the area, plays the ball in towards Šeško, who spins left footed, and shot is wide. Good footwork from the Slovenian, and he's back to goal and managed to get a shot away, but harmlessly wide in the end. It's Patrick Dorgu, who's predominantly left footed, went on the outside this time and whipped the ball in on his right, all along the floor. Šeško could spin and hit in one motion, but unfortunately well wide. Has got 2 goals to his name in the Premier League in a Man United shirt this season, but wasn't troubling Aaron Ramsdale yet. As Newcastle play their way out with Tonali. Goes into Voltemade, who gets away from Dorgu and then comes left to Anthony Gordon. Gordon down the line to Voltemade again, who's going to play that off for Dorgu, and that will go out of play for Newcastle's first corner of the evening. Down on this left-hand side. 11 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 0. If you are just tuning in, Ruben Amorim springing the surprises. Definite change of formation for the home side this evening. And Newcastle looking a little bit baffled by it. The lime green boots of Tonali over to take this corner. It will be an in-swinger. Deep breath from the Italian international. Left arm in the air, steps forward and swings it in towards the front post. It's flicked on. It's a save by Lummens and hacked away by Heaven. First real save from the keeper this evening. And Cunha will try and bring United up the pitch. Really good ball in from Tonali. There's a group of players there and it was flicked towards goal. Lewis Hall back in possession, plays a lovely ball out on this left-hand side. Murphy just gets into the box on the left-hand side. Cuts inside to shoot, takes a deflection. And that will be over the bar for another corner. As we see the previous corner again, Tonali put the ball in. It was a mixture of Guimaraes and Miley who both went up at the front post. It was a good save by Lummens. And Newcastle will be looking to cause some issues again from this second set piece. Plenty forward again for the away side. Taken short this time. Go out to Bruno, swings the ball in, headed away by Dorgu. He goes down clutching his head, so Anthony Taylor will have to stop proceedings. And the Denmark international just grasping the top of his head inside his own penalty box. Won his header fairly. Just got a little bit of a clash, unintentional. But obviously Anthony Taylor having to stop play due to head injury protocol. No attention needed for Patrick Dorgu. A different role this evening as Newcastle gets back underway. On for Tonali to chase, but it's going to be too far, and that will go out of play in the full-back region for a throw to the home side, which Portuguese Dalot will come over to take. It's kind of a nice evening in Manchester, but he does have to dry the ball on his shirt before waving players further up. Takes 3 steps and sends the throw up towards Dorgu, flicks it on. It's returned by Newcastle. And they'll fight for it in the centre. And Newcastle make a bit of a hash of it, and it will be picked up by Luke Shaw on halfway, and he just sends it back to his captain this evening, Martinez. Martinez making his first start this evening since the 2nd of February. Did play 45 minutes last weekend against Aston Villa. If Man United can keep him fit, Amorim will be absolutely delighted with that, to have some experience in that back line, particularly with Maguire and De Ligt out injured at the moment. Long ball from Lawrence is headed back by Newcastle, and Lewis Hall feels like he's been fouled, and Anthony Taylor agrees. So there's a free kick to the away side, halfway inside the Manchester United half. Eddie Howe, clearly normally a cool customer, looks very agitated this evening, right on the edge of his technical area, shouting instructions to his side. Probably playing a little bit of catch-up after being sprung a tactical surprise by Ruben Amorim. Tonali is over this free kick, halfway inside the home side's half. Manu playing quite a high line as the ball comes forward, headed on into the box, and it's going to break away for Chow, who spins away and gets a left foot shot. It's been blocked and then thumped clear by Luke Shaw over halfway. There's only Lewis Hall at the back who can just pick it up and knock it back to Sandro Tonali. Tonali, as always, just gets his head up and rolls his foot over the ball a couple of times, goes right to Lewis Miley on halfway. Miley finds Murphy, who knocks it down the line for Bruno, flicked it in towards Ramsey, who made a break into the box, and just over the top of him. United haven't quite cleared the ball as well as they would like, and it's picked up in midfield again by Tonali, who tries to break forward. He's pulled back by Ugarte. That'll be a free kick to the away team. Very central, about 40 yards from goal. Ugarte just pulling the right arm of Tonali right in front of Anthony Taylor. Only one decision that could be given there. Newcastle goes short to Gordon. He gets it straight out of his feet and puts a swinging ball into the box, headed away. Ugarte will try and bring it clear for the home side. Under pressure from Murphy, gives it away. And Ramsey plays it to Guimaraes, who gives it to Murphy, who plays a 1-2 with Ramsey, and Ramsey tries to set it through to Guimaraes, and his ball across is going to only be cut out for another corner. Casemiro can only knock it behind, and the away team definitely coming into this game in the last 5 minutes. Ball that Guimaraes chased down almost looked like a lost chance. He's done well to win his side a corner, which Hall has gone over to take, so it's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from the far side. In it comes, it's deep towards Lomans, headed away by Dorgu. And Mason Mount will try and win his side a throw, which he does in the right-back position. Just flick the ball off of Tonali to give his side a little bit of a break. Dallo just comes over and picks one of the new balls off of the cone, so no need to try that one. Throws it short to Casemiro, gives it back to the Portuguese international, plays it into Šeško with a nice touch, sets Cunha away on the halfway line. Cunha breaking forward, tries to find Dorgu. Dorgu goes down, but play on, it's broken for Mason Mount with some nice footwork. Newcastle just battle in midfield to win it back with Bruno. And Lewis Hall plays a nice 1-2 with the Brazilian, but Ugarte wins it back unfairly, according to Anthony Taylor. Uproar in the home stands. That looked like a bit of a 50-50 tackle, as we see it again. Minimal contact. I think Bruno will be feeling pretty lucky there that he got away with that one. The Newcastle captain. Shah just knocks the free kick back to his keeper Ramsdale. Ramsdale into Shah, who got caught in possession at the centre not that long ago, so still happy to try and play out the back, the Swiss international. Miley into midfield, and it's Guimaraes who spreads that left and high towards Gordon. Gordon lets it bounce and takes it on his chest. He's going to run at Dallo on the outside. Gordon then just checks back and keeps the ball level with the edge of the area now. Sets it on his right foot, looks to cross it and fakes it, and then plays a nice ball inside to Lewis Hall, who goes towards the byline, plays it across. It's headed away by Casemiro again. Newcastle really coming on strong. That'll be another corner for the away team in front of the Stretford end. Lovely play from Anthony Gordon. Put Diego Dallo on the floor and then played a nice ball inside to Lewis Hall, whose left-footed cross was cut out. So it's Tonali again coming over to this near side to take the corner. It's going to be another in-swinger. Big group of Newcastle players at the back post this time. But it's Murphy who sprints short, and they give it back to Tonali, who swings it in deep towards Voltemade. And it ends up with Shah, who puts it across goal, but Lomans picks it up well, and then quick throw out towards Dorgu, who's actually on his more familiar left side this time. He can't keep it in, and there'll be a throw into Newcastle on halfway. Good handling from the Belgian keeper, Senna Lomans. Signed from Royal Antwerp in the summer. Appears to have brought a period of calmness to the Manchester United back line since making his debut. Newcastle in possession. Nice 1-2 with Gordon, who then gives it to Ramsey. Good ball from Ramsey forward to Guimaraes, who goes to Murphy outside of him, but Murphy is offside. So a bit of a let-off for United. 22 minutes gone, still goalless at Old Trafford. Only real chance for Man United was that Casemiro header early on, inside the first couple of minutes really. Just flicked it over the bar rather than hitting the target. Lomans will send the ball long and over halfway, but it's a free header for Miley to send forward, but returned by Martinez high into the air. Battle in midfield, and Tonali comes out on top, flicks it into Voltemade, who plays a 1-2 with Gordon. But Cunha is back there to steal it away. And Martinez can hook it forward for Šeško to chase. Šeško manages to bring the ball down with a lovely flick, finds Cunha, who's going to run at the Newcastle defence, gets into the box on the left-hand side, swings it across, and it's punched away by Ramsdale. It looked a bit of a cross from Cunha, but ended up almost being on target. Aaron Ramsdale had to deal with it. Cunha causing Chow all sorts of problems when he was running at him. Great footwork from the Brazilian. Went on the outside and looked to cross it with his left foot and ended up nearly sneaking it in the near post. And Ramsdale had to be aware to it and claw it away. Long throw headed up in the air from Voltemada, and Dorgu hits it on the volley from the edge of the area and finds the net. Manchester United, out of nowhere in the last 5 minutes, take the lead at Old Trafford. Patrick Dorgu's first of the season, a left-footed volley, finds the bottom right-hand corner. Nothing that Aaron Ramsdale can do about that. It's an absolutely wonderful strike. And the home side take the lead in the 24th minute. Manchester United 1, Newcastle 0. It's an absolutely fantastic strike from the Denmark international. The long throw from Dalot was only headed up in the air by Voltemade, and it fell to the edge of the area, and it's a fantastic strike on his left foot, just dropping out of the sky. And he struck it past Aaron Ramsdale. It was past him before he could really move. Put in a dive in the end, but nothing he could do with that. That's a fantastic goal to get us underway on Boxing Day. 1-0 to Manchester United. 24 minutes gone. Bit of shell shock for Newcastle. It's a great way to score your first goal for the club. Great technique. Saying looks like he's playing a bit of a different position this evening. Almost playing high and wide on the right hand side. Used to see him playing left wing back. But Newcastle, how can they respond? And Cher tries to play a long ball through, and that's going to go all the way through to Lomans. The goal came at a time where Newcastle was starting to look good in this game. They are back in possession with Chow on halfway, who gives it to Tonali. Tonali clips it forward to the incredibly thick black hairband of Anthony Gordon, who's really hugging this left-hand side and trying to find as much space as possible. Here's Lewis Hall coming forward, gives it to Anthony Gordon, right on the touchline, and Gordon will run at Dalot. Goes on the outside towards the byline. Dalot slides in and can clear that away. Thought he kept it in, but it'll be a corner to the away side. Gordon looks really positive when he gets the ball down and runs at Diogo Dalot. Certainly appears to be well within Thomas Tuchel's plans for the summer. Only a couple of goals for Anthony Gordon. As the corner comes in, it's cleared away at the near post. Man United will break with Mountain Cunha running forward. He's got Šeško on the outside of him. It's almost 3v3. Finds Šeško out on the left. The ball's a bit strong, but Šeško picks it up in the box, plays it across. Cleared away by Miley, only as far as Shaw. Back to Dorgu again, who clips the ball towards goal. And it's some good hands from Aaron Ramsdale. A wry smile from Dorgu. Just scored his first goal for the club and nearly clipped another one into the far corner. Newcastle come away and just try and give themselves a little bit of possession. So Newcastle come from right to left. Shah into Gordon. Again has to bounce the ball back to the centre-back. And clips it over the top of Dalot for Gordon to chase, but Dalot just wins his header. And some great footwork from Dorgu, who's flying on this right-hand side. Knocks it into Mason Mount, but again Newcastle managed to step in and break that play up. Newcastle just Dyson with a bit of danger in their back line, trying to play out, and Newcastle luckily go through the press this time. Ramsdale's clearance is only nodded back by Ugarte. And Aidan Heaven, the youngster, has it in the back line for United, gives it to his captain Lissandro. And then it's down to Luke Shaw to return it to Lomans, who then sends it out right to Dalot as Manchester United move the ball well. Newcastle pressing high up. Dallow's forced to go forward with his left foot. Tonali tries to win it in midfield, but Mason Mount comes away with it. And so does Cunha on the left-hand side. Passes to Shaw. Shaw under pressure from Murphy. He's forced to go back to his keeper again. Bit of an intriguing battle so far. Long ball from Lomans. Malik Chow just let that bounce over and go all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale. See, Newcastle, not that great away record, only one win so far this season, but they will be pleased to know that Manchester United have only kept one clean sheet so far this season. We're only half an hour in, so plenty of time for things to change. Voltemade, his touch out left, just allows Man United to get back in. Shah finds Gordon, who's dropping ever deeper to try and get in on play. Tries to play a nice 1-2 with Voltemade, but Mason Mount does really well to steal the ball, and United can break again. Sesko goes left to Shaw. Plenty of players flooding forward. Shaw puts the ball all on the ground. Cleared away by Chow. Out for that throw in again. Similar position to where the goal came from. This throw taken short to Martinez. And then Heaven will have it in the centre circle. And the home side will look to build again. Newcastle with everyone back inside their own half. Heaven takes a couple of steps into the Newcastle half, clips it left-footed down the right-hand side for Dallows. First touch is good. Plays left-footed ball in towards the box. It's bounced off of the Newcastle defender. That'll be a throw into the home side to Heaven, who finds Casemiro, just spins away from Tonali, but Tonali sticks to him, so he's forced to go back to Martinez. The home side just enjoying some short passes and possession, but they are being forced back towards their own goal currently. Cunha tries to spin away from Miley down on the left-hand side, and Miley can't tackle him. And Cunha's going to break towards the box, gets into the box on the left-hand side. His cross is blocked, and that will be a corner over on the far side. Murphy having to come back and help out his defensive partner. It's a good opportunity for the home team to put the ball into the box. Plenty of players surrounding Aaron Ramsdale in that 6-yard area. Mason Mount just bounces the ball a couple of times on the floor before placing it in the quadrant. Steps back, big deep breath, and comes forward to swing this one in towards the goal. It's headed away by Miley. Much better clearance on this one. And in fact, there's a free kick in there. Dean Rice was fouled, so free kick to the away team, which Ramsdale will just very quickly get on with. One hand on the ball and kicks it to Malik Chow, who will come forward. Chow just comes from right to left to Lewis Hall, who gives it back to the very experienced Fabian Schär. Schär tries to clip it forward again, and his passing hasn't been too successful so far, so there's a turnover in possession. Martinez goes left to Luke Shaw. He's happy to clip it back to Lomans. Lomans with one touch and sends it high and long with his left foot. Great header from Sesko, finds Cunha in the centre circle, who can break away from a couple of tackles. Plays out right to Dorgu, who gets inside the box on the right hand side. Shoots right footed, it's a good save, and then cleared away Dorgu already scored with his left, this time shooting with his right across goal. And Ramsdale managed to get down with both hands. Great football from Manchester United on the break. Heaven with the ball on halfway goes direct into Mount, who trades a pass with Cunha. Out to Dorgu on the right hand side. He's got Dallo outside of him. Chooses to use him. Dallo goes back into Mount. Plays a ball in towards the on-rushing Ugarte. Cleared away by Chow. Plenty of confidence in the home side so far since the goal. And we're going to see another long throw from the Portuguese right-back Dallo. The opening goal coming from Voltemade, not able to clear it properly earlier. It is Voltemade this time who gets a much better clearance on it. Does find Dorgu, gives it back to Dallo. Dallo tries to whip a ball in, that's going to flick off of Guimaraes and then bounce up nicely for Ramsdale, who sprints to the edge of his area and launches a throw over halfway, but it's a great header from Heaven. United will come again. Martinez, the captain, in the centre circle. Just happy to stand on the ball and take his time. Goes left to Luke Shaw. Shaw finds Ugarte. Ugarte just chops back in and trades a pass with his central midfield partner Casemiro, and then really nicely, good Cruyff turn and finds himself a bit of space. Goes to Shaw outside of him. Shaw level with the edge of the area, comes back to Casemiro. Casemiro just providing good support there. Goes inside to Mount. Manchester United moving the ball really nicely. 1-2 from Cunha and Dorgu, and Cunha shoots this time, and it's wide of the left-hand post. Matheus Cunha just almost snatching in that effort a little bit. Had a bit of space, and I wonder whether he could have taken on Lewis Hall there before pulling the trigger. He's scored 3 Premier League goals for his new side since signing for Wolves in the summer. Obviously picked up 15 Premier League goals last year, so not quite the same outcome for him as Newcastle's turns come forward and Murphy puts the ball into the box. It's cleared away, gets returned back to Murphy, comes in on his left foot this time, plays the ball down the line for Ramsey. Ramsey gives it back to Guimaraes, trades a pass with Ramsey again, who must have been close to offside. Ramsey gives it back to his captain Bruno. Bruno's forced backwards, still has it. Cunha under a bit of pressure, forces Newcastle to go all the way back to halfway. Great defending from United. Showers ball forward, flicks off of Casemiro, and that'll be a throw into the away team on the far side, midway through the United half. Newcastle come from right to left, and Shah on halfway finds Hall outside of him on the left hand side. Hall knocks it to Gordon, but he can only return it to Fabian Schär. Plenty of players back for United as Jacob Ramsey's pass is a stray one. And go out of play for a throw into the home team. Disappointing from young Jacob Ramsey there. Still yet to get off the mark in a Newcastle shirt since signing from Villa in the summer. Throw into United halfway inside their own half. It's Shaw takes it short to Casemiro, gives it back to him, and then Cunha will break forward, and Shaw now bombing outside him on the left hand side, and Shaw's going to take on Lewis Miley. Miley gets there first, but does really well to chop it back to Murphy. Murphy finds Voltemade, who's having to jink and jive around a couple of players and cuts a very frustrated figure as he only knocks it out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Manchester United just trying to slow everything down when it comes to the throw-ins. Obviously, 1 goal to the good. Both sides will say that neither of their benches has a whole lot of experience on it, should they need them later. Newcastle have a little bit more experience with the likes of Joel Linton and Harvey Barnes, Joe Willock, Johan Visser. But Manchester United with Xerxes and Euro, that's probably about it really in terms of out-and-out first-teamers. He sends a long ball forward towards Voltemade, but Martinez wins his header. Cunha gets the ball on halfway and plays a direct ball into Sesko with a lovely flick, finds Dorgu, who can wriggle away, but there's a really good tackle in there from Ramsey. And Newcastle try and break on the right hand side, but Martinez into Mount. Obviously all the talk in the build-up was going to be how would Manchester United cope without Bruno Fernandes, particularly with a hamstring injury. You know, talking 4 to 6 weeks potentially. But that change of shape has helped, I feel, but Cunha and Mount with a bit more licence to play, finding a lot of space in there, and see Dorgu scoring the goal, playing on this right-hand side tonight has been fantastic, and he's going to battle away and do his defensive duties this time with Lewis Hall. He does really well, teaming up with Dalot to win the ball back. Dorgu now plays a 1-2 with Casemiro, and Ugarte can then spin away and try and get Man United up the pitch, but Ramsey wins it back high up inside the Manchester half, but again given away by the away team. Those passes in the final third not really clicking, but Gordon then wins a tackle and finds Voltemade. It goes to ground, nothing given by Anthony Taylor. Newcastle win it back again. Guimaraes out to Murphy on the right side, plays a ball across, it's gone all the way through. Loman's left it in the end. Must have got a shout from one of his defenders. Murphy fizzed it across all along the ground, bit of a daisy cutter. But luckily for the home side, no danger in the end. Voltemade just trying to get the wrong side of heaven, and Dalot managed to step over it. So it'll be a throw in to the home side. No one touched it. Anthony Gordon just standing there with his hands on his head, knows that if he had attacked at the back post, he might have got there. It's the first real chance that Newcastle have had for a while. Dalot in the full-back position with the ball raised above his head, just trying to eke forward as many yards as he can. Steps and throws the ball high in the air. Forward over halfway. But Chow's able just to knock that back to keeper Ramsdale. Ramsdale's pass into Miley. Miley goes right to Murphy. Murphy trades past with Guimaraes before flicking it across to Shah. He's in plenty of space to come forward up to halfway. Bruno takes over and comes forward into the Manchester United half. Plays it to Hall on the left-hand side, and Dorgu goes flying in with a tackle and actually wins his side of throw-in. He's got the biggest smile on his face, the 21-year-old. Absolutely loving it out there in this new role. Obviously scores his first goal for the club as well in the 24th minute. 42 minutes gone here as we creep towards half-time. It is 1-0 to the home side, who are looking to finish the night 5th if they can secure the win. But with only one clean sheet this season, they might need another goal. Shah in his own half finds Chow, who knocks it over halfway to Miley. Miley in the orange boots comes forward, plays it to Bruno, tries to give it back to him on the byline. It's really good defending from Cunha all the way back there, who gets high fives from Martinez and Casemiro. they know it was really important to block that ball in. Seeing a replay of the goal, it's a fantastic strike from Patrick Dorgu. Smashed it on the volley into the bottom corner. Ramsdale did really well to get a hand on it, but the power of the shot just meant that they couldn't keep it out. Chow with the ball just outside his own penalty area, goes left to his centre-back partner Shah. Shah returns it to his keeper. And Newcastle will try and come forward. Miley on halfway, plenty of space ahead of him, goes down the line towards Murphy, but that's cut out by Shaw. Throw into the away team just inside the Manchester half. Short one taken to Tonali, who gives it to Lewis Miley. Luke Shaw is really pressing and trying to win the ball back, but good footwork from Miley. Finds Guimaraes in midfield. Goes left to Shah again. Shah inside to Chow. Difficult to break through the lines of Manchester United as we come towards half-time. Tonali finds Gordon, who's floated inside, plays a ball into Voltemade, spins away from Heaven, tries to get it back to Gordon. It's just bouncing around, and Tonali's gone down under a tackle of Dorgu, staying down, holding his right ankle as Newcastle carry on. We're about to find out how many minutes there will be added on. Tonali's still on the ground, and Anthony Taylor decides to stop play as Newcastle had actually stopped playing. The fourth official has just shown that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes added on, but that will carry on because obviously we've now got Tonali down. Looks like he's had a bit of a clash with Šeško, who's just coming back. One of those ones where Tonali's gone sliding in and Šeško's studs have then stepped on the outside of Tonali's foot and his ankle. Nothing malicious in it, but a bit of an accident. Eddie Howe frantically writing some notes down just before half-time. So he must have been absolutely blindsided by this change of shape from the home team tonight. And it is the home team that lead going into the last few minutes of the half. Newcastle will have possession once Tonali makes his way off. Seems to be okay. Walking with a little bit of a limp, but just a bit of a sore one on top of his foot by the looks of things. Broke into a little bit of a jog before getting off. Newcastle gets back underway on halfway with Chow into Miley. Miley finds the very busy Bruno Guimaraes, who can just turn and spin it left to Lewis Hall. But good press from United forces Newcastle back, and Shah's going to send a big diagonal out right towards Murphy, who loses his header to Shaw. But Chow will retrieve it on halfway and then knock it all the way back to Ramsdale. Goes short again to Shah. Shah to Hall, and Anthony Gordon's had to pick the ball up in his own half. We'll try and run with it. Breaks over halfway now into the centre circle, going from left to right. Still in possession. Just stops and twists into Bruno Guimaraes. Gives it back to him, and Gordon just outside the centre circle. Tries to creep forward. Goes left to Tonali, who finds Hall. Ball back to Tonali. 47.5 minutes on the clock. We are in overtime in the additional time added on due to that injury to Tonali. Guimaraes gets it to Murphy on the right hand side, plays a ball in towards Voltemade. He's bounced in the box and hooked away by a mixture of Ugarte and Dorgu. It'll be returned by Shah to Ramsey. Can Newcastle make one last chance before half-time. Hall, with his left foot, goes inside to Tonali. Tonali finds Shah. Time running out for Newcastle at the end of this first half. Shah goes left to Tonali, gets it out of his feet, puts the ball in right-footed, headed away by Casemiro. Hoofed into the air by Dalot. Over halfway. That'll bounce a couple of times. And as Hall returns it to Ramsdale, Anthony Taylor blows the whistle for half-time. Big shock here at Old Trafford, not in terms of the results so far, but Ruben Amorim changing formation and changing shape for this game, almost flicking to a back four, definitely caught Newcastle off guard. And it was Patrick Dorgu, his first signing almost a year ago from Lecce in January last year, who has played most of his career for Manchester United as that left wing back, playing in right midfield this evening, has popped up with his first goal for the club. A long throw from Dalot wasn't dealt with by Newcastle. Voltemade's header could only spoon up into the air and didn't get enough distance on it. And the Denmark international stepped onto it left-footed and volleyed it from 16 yards into the bottom right-hand corner past the diving Aaron Ramsdale, who did manage to get a glove on it but couldn't keep it out. Since then, Man United have pretty much been in control. Not too many chances to speak of for either side. Other than that, Dorgu himself did force another save from Aaron Ramsdale with a right-footed strike that ended up being straight at him. But Newcastle unable to really trouble Sene Lomans. There was a header from Guimaraes from the corner which was saved. But other than that, the away side really struggling to make an impact in the final third as Manchester United really try to hold on to that lead. So Dorgu's 24th minute goal, the difference here, as it is Manchester United 1, Newcastle 0. Half-time at Old Trafford, very intriguing game. We'll see you for the second half here on Flash Score. Manchester United 1, Newcastle 0.
under. 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 him under. Put him under. Put him under.
Short one, and Lewis Hall can step in and nip it through the legs of a couple of players, and Newcastle will try and break forward as the ball goes out right to Murphy. Comes inside to Guimaraes, who sends it forward to Voltemade with a lovely flick back to Ramsey just outside the box, cuts out back on his right foot, stumbles as he tries to get his shot away. Newcastle still have it with Guimaraes just outside the box, tries to flick it into Voltemade again, who's going to really battle for that ball, but between Martinez and Shaw, they scramble the ball away. Jacob Ramsey got himself into a really good shooting position after a delightful flick from Nick Voltemade. Just lost his footing as he entered the box. But if that's how the rest of the game is going to go, we're in for an exciting one this evening. That flick from Nick Voltemade was delightful. So, if you are just joining us for the second half, Mason Mount coming off, and young Jack Fletcher, who made his debut, coming on against Aston Villa. He is the son of Duncan Fletcher. Manchester United losing possession, but then gaining it back in the third. A throw for Lewis Miley. Miley then plays it back to Fabian Schär. We'll bring it forward up towards halfway. So Darren Fletcher seeing his son Jack coming on for his second appearance. He's also got his twin brother Tyler on the bench. So incredible for the ex-United man. So Dad Darren seeing both sons in and around the matchday squad. And it will be Jack coming on for his second appearance in place of Mason Mount, who looked good in the first half, so probably more of a fitness concern rather than a tactical tweak from Ruben Amorim. Newcastle have it, swing into the middle from Murphy, who can clear away Manchester United. It's Ugarte who will try and bring the ball up the pitch. Gives it back to his captain, who then hooks it up the line towards Casemiro, who finds the chest of Šeško. One back by Newcastle in the Man United half. Ball is with Miley, midway inside the half. Finds Lewis Hall, who's still up from the free kick earlier. Newcastle having to reset with Malik Chow. Chow finds Miley on the right hand side. He finds Murphy, delivers the ball into the box, which flicks off Luke Shaw. And they'll be out of play for a corner in front of the away fans for Newcastle. Newcastle fans pack in the air as plenty of players to aim at. Swings the ball in towards Voltemade, but good header away from Dalot. Gets the ball out a good 30 yards, and Newcastle try and return it in from Murphy. He'll then flick it on to Chow, and that ball will break for Gordon, who plays it against Martinez, and that'll be another corner, this time on the left-hand side for Newcastle. Anthony Gordon just throws that into the quadrant, then walks away from it. 50 minutes gone here. No goals in the second half, but it is the home side that lead 1-0. Patrick Dorgu's first goal in his 38th appearance for the club. On the 24th minute, the difference. If you get the opportunity, go and watch it. It's a fantastic strike as the corner comes in towards Voltemade, but only cleared to Shah. He's going to shoot a goal. Takes a deflection off of goal scorer Dorgu. And will go behind for a corner. As soon as it hit the Manchester United defender, there was panic on faces. No one really knew where it went. Hands on heads from the away side. That could have gone anywhere. It did go away for a corner. Third corner of the half. Hall sends that in towards the back post this time. Dorgu heads it up in the air. And Fletcher would try and bring it away, but he can only run it out of play for a throw. Dorgu's gone down holding his face, and Anthony Taylor stops the match. Unsure as to whether he's decided that there was a foul in there, or he's just going to check for a head injury. It was a deep corner. Dorgu got up the highest. He had a bit of a hand in the face from Chow. Completely accidental, but almost a bit of an eye gouge in the end from the German defender, Malik Chow. Dorgu's up and okay. So Newcastle will get the throw in just outside the edge of the area. Shaping up for a long one. Voltemade just lingering at the back post, but they go short back to Tonali, who's going to then swing it in from the angle towards Shah. A good challenge from Luke Shaw, and that'll be Newcastle's fourth corner of the second half. Only 6 minutes gone since half time, and the away side have come flying out the traps. It's Lewis Hall with his blue boots coming over to take it. He's gone short to Ramsey, who then delivers it to Murphy, who's going to send it in from a different angle, headed away by Casemiro. Fletcher takes a heavy touch and then gives that away to Tonali. Newcastle will come forward again. Here's Gordon, tries to play it out left to Ramsey, but Manchester United steal it away, but can only scramble it as far as Tonali. Tonali shrugs off Dorgu, who's gone down again holding his face. The Manchester United goal scorer in the wars. Playing on the right-hand side this evening. If you are just joining us, Ruben Amorim springing the surprises. Switching formation to a back four this evening. And it's certainly made for a good game. Lomans sends it forward towards Šeško, but it's going to bounce all the way through to his opposite number. And Ramsdale, in his light blue keeper kit, sends that to Sharp, who goes from left to right for Chow to advance over the halfway line for Newcastle. Into Voltemade, who just takes one touch out to Lewis Miley. Miley finds Murphy. Murphy tries to deliver, blocked by Shaw, and that'll be a throw into Newcastle on the right hand side, taken quickly to Chow. Chow just opens up his body and sends it left footed into the centre circle. Ball goes from left to right, and it will be picked up by Miley. Miley sneaking forward, finds Murphy outside of him, but Murphy wants to come inside. Can only find Tonali, who goes to Chow. Chow spreads it from right to left to comes out and claims that. Good hands from the 23. On halfway. Been all the away side since half time. 54 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. Miley. Diagonal right to Miley. Takes a lovely touch on his right foot. Finds Murphy. Spins away from Shaw, but Casemiro's there to help him out, and Manchester United get a little bit of possession. But it's the youngster Jack Fletcher who's caught in possession, and Tonali will come forward again, midway inside the United half. Tonali goes to Ramsey, who just knocks it onto Gordon. Gordon being heavily marked by Patrick Dorgu, is forced backwards. Chow into Murphy, plays a nice touch with Gomes, who tries to play it down the right flank, and it's going to run all the way through. Anthony Gordon just standing out on the left touchline, hands on hips, looking quite frustrated. Hasn't had an awful lot of the play this evening, but when he does run at Diogo Dalot, he does look dangerous. It's just whether Newcastle can get him the ball. Hasn't got himself on the score sheet since the win against Burnley. Only 2 goals this season for the England international. And Eddie Howe will be hoping to try and get his star winger into the game as much as they can in this second half. Heaven goes forward to Dorgu, who's had it stolen away from him by Hall on halfway. Ramsey just turns his body and knocks it back to Fabian Schär. Schär finds Tonali, who's got plenty of time to try and play a ball to Gordon, but again it's cut out by Dalot this time. Casemiro finds Šeško on halfway. He's forced backwards. Can only knock it back to his keeper. Newcastle definitely hot on the press in this second half. Lomans' long ball is going to bounce all the way through to Murphy, back in the right back position. He finds Lewis Miley on halfway. Miley goes inside to Swiss defender Schär. Schär finds Ramsey, who trades a short pass with Tonali and then gets it back on halfway. Manchester United with all 11 players back behind the ball in their own half, trying to make things as difficult as and to be broken down. Malik Chow steps out defence and clips the ball forward for Miley to chase, but Sandro Martinez can hack it away, but it will roll through to Chow. Newcastle keep possession. Almost to Gordon. Gordon's going to pick the ball up and try and jink it on the outside past Dalu. Gets the ball in towards Voltemade. Cleared away by Ugarte. Retained by Newcastle again. Shah just gives possession back to Tonali in the centre circle. Right to Lewis Miley. Miley finds Murphy, gives it back to Tonali. Plays a nice triangle with Miley. Spins inside and finds Guimaraes. Guimaraes to Ramsey. Newcastle really keeping possession as Shah breaks towards the box and still going. Smuggled away by United, and they can now try and break. Šeško finds Dorgu on the right hand side. Dorgu tries to get himself over halfway and is going to run past Lewis Hall, who's hauled him to the ground. Surely nothing given by Anthony Taylor, much to the amazement of the home fans. And Manchester United win it high up, and it's Šeško who's got the ball into the box on the left hand side, steps over and strikes it, hits the bar, and that will go over for the goal kick. Potentially offside the Slovenian international. As we see it again, it was Miley and Chow caught in possession, and then ball stolen off of Guimaraes, and Šeško would have been onside. It would have counted, and he struck it with his left foot. It's flicked the top of the bar. Dangerous effort, really nearly angled into that top corner, and that would have been very much against the run of play. And that in fact will be the last action we see of Benjamin Šeško. He will stay on 2 goals for the season, and he is replaced by Joshua Zirkzee, who has got that goal this season against Crystal Palace in that 2-1 victory away from home. He was the only player on the Manchester United bench this evening with a goal this season, as we also see Casemiro replaced, and it's going to be Lenny Yoro coming on, the French under-21 international. Replaces the vastly experienced Casemiro. I wonder if that will be a change of shape for United. Might be a bit more of a traditional shape, and it is now Dorgu going back over onto the left-hand side. So we might see a more familiar position. Ruben Amorim just striding up and down the touchline. Will obviously be happy with the scoreline, but we'd be concerned at the amount of football that Newcastle are having in their half. As Lewis Hall breaks forward towards the edge of the box and shoots left-footed, it hits the bar and bounces clear. Lomans look beaten. The ball's been retained by Guimaraes on the edge of the area, and he tries to break forward but can only find Murphy, who clips it back towards the back post, headed away by Yoro, but only as far as Hall again. He strikes it into the chest of Dalot, and that goes behind for a corner. Lewis Hall with 2 fantastic strikes in the space of about 30 seconds. Some great footwork to break free. And the first one was from about 20 yards, and Lomans was beaten. It curled away from him and just came off the bar and bounced clear. Both sides hitting the crossbar in the last couple of minutes. As the corner comes in, only flicked on from Dalot to Shah, the back post, struck towards goal. Cries for a handball, but nothing given. Voltemade can't get it towards goal either. Smuggled away by United. There's plenty of players down. There's about 4 players down, and Anthony Taylor's going to have to stop, because we've got 2 Newcastle players writhing around on the floor. There's Sandro Martinez collapsed in a heap on the penalty spot. And what a passage of play there. This game is really opening up, incredibly exciting. Shaw ended up striking the ball towards the back post, and it has come off the arm of Lisandro Martinez, but he was very close. It'd be an interesting one for VAR, this one. His arms were in an unnatural position. He's only a couple of metres away from Fabian Shaw. So I wonder if this will be checked. Martinez is pointing to his chest, saying that it's come off of there. It definitely hasn't. Well, it might have bounced off his chest first and then caught his arm, which might save him here. But there is a VAR check going on. Really exciting passage of play since half-time. 63 minutes gone here. We're under a VAR check for a potential penalty to Newcastle. Anthony Taylor's just having a discussion with Newcastle captain Bruno Guimaraes. It's looking like the decision is going to be no penalty from what I see. The only thing that might have saved Lisandro Martinez here is that it has hit his chest first and then come off his arm. And it is no penalty. So a touch fortunate there for the home side, I would say. Obviously, Lewis Hall hitting the bar in the build-up to that, and then had another great strike on his left foot, almost in an identical position to Patrick Dorgu's goal. It was then blocked by Dallo. Then we had the corner and Shah's strike hitting the arm of Martinez, but we're back underway. The first 20 minutes of this second half are anything to go by. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a finish to this game. Tonali goes left to Gordon, who's going to run at Yoro on the outside and gets round him, plays the ball into Voltemade, who can take it down and tries to find Tonali on the edge. Doesn't quite break for him, and United can try and clear their lines with Cunha releasing Dorgu, but Shah comes sprinting over and clatters the ball off of the goal scorer to win himself a throw for the away side. It's very much a sit back and try and soak up pressure for Manchester United in this second half. Only 24% possession for the home side so far. As Newcastle are away again on the left-hand side, it's Ramsey who wins himself a throw-in down by the corner flag. Ugarte stepping across as Newcastle are readying a triple change. It's looking like Joel Linton, Wissam Barnes. The ball comes back into the box, headed away, but only as far as Miley, about 30 yards from goal on the right-hand side. He's got Murphy outside of him, which he chooses to use. Murphy flicks it out of his feet and tries to get across him, but Dorgu will block it, and it will be away for a Newcastle throw. 6 yards from the end of the pitch, as the Newcastle substitutes are getting a lot of information about their set plays. Short throw from Miley, gets the ball back into his chest and finds Guimaraes, who gives it back to Tonali on the angle. Tonali looks to deliver and it's headed away. But Newcastle retain possession. Manchester United just can't make it stick. Lewis Hall in the centre circle, comes left, finds Anthony Gordon, who's the furthest player back. He just gives it to Tonali and makes his way forward. Tonali finds Miley. Miley with Murphy outside of him. Murphy just floats into the centre of the pitch, 25 yards from goal. Plays a good ball to Guimaraes on the edge, but crowded out. Finds Miley. Miley gives it back to Bruno, who's just trying to make a bit of room for a cross. Now finds Murphy, clips a good ball into Anthony Gordon, who strikes it towards goal, and it's right across the face. Hands on head from the England international. There was no one at the back post just to poke it home. Great build-up play from the away side again. And Anthony Gordon couldn't get it on target, whether it was a shot or a cross. It's just gone wide. Lomans just stood and watched and hoped, and there was no one there to poke it home. And Newcastle, very much the better side in this second half. as the changes have been made, 3 of them. So it's Harvey Barnes, Joel Linton and Johan Visser coming on for Nick Voltemade, Murphy and Ramsey. So Nick Voltemade won't be adding to his 7 goals in the Premier League this season for the German, signed from Stuttgart. Did get both goals last time out against Chelsea, but won't be finding the net today, and it's Johan Visser coming on to lead the line instead, providing a much different task for that Man United backline. United with some rare possession in the Newcastle half. Luke Shaw with the throw in midway inside the Newcastle half. Just taking as much time as he can. Goes to throw it 3 or 4 times, and actually Anthony Gordon's had enough. Sorry, Anthony Taylor's had enough. And he shows Luke Shaw the yellow card. Goes into the book for time wasting. It'll be his 3rd of the season. He then gets us underway with a throw into Martinez, who turns around and gives it to Heaven. Some nice footwork, gets away from Visser, plays it into Xerxes, who gives it away to Tonali in the centre circle. Tonali spreads it quickly to Hall, who goes left towards Gordon, but well picked off by Lenny Yoro. Second half substitute, and Cunha has it just over halfway for Manchester United, and wins a very cheap foul off of Joel Linton. The face of referee Anthony Taylor is one of bemusement. I think Joel Linton just really fell into the trap there. Cunha was going absolutely nowhere. Manchester United gets back underway, and it's with captain Martinez halfway inside his half, sends a long ball out left towards Dorgu's. Touch is fantastic and brings it down midway inside the Newcastle half. Just turns back and gives it to Luke Shaw. Ball back on halfway with Martinez again. Finds Dorgu, plays a 1-2 with Fletcher and gets it back, puts the ball in towards Xerxes. It's gone through everyone in the end, and Newcastle can hack it away. One for Gordon to chase, but Yoro and Heaven do really well to win possession for Manchester United. 70 minutes gone. Still Manchester United 1, Newcastle 0 at Old Trafford. But the game has really opened up in this second half. And it's the away side with the majority of the possession and the opportunities in this second half. They'll count themselves a little bit unlucky to not have a penalty in their eyes after a VAR check for handball, but nothing given in the end. The on-field decision stuck. Malik Chow just sneaking towards halfway, plays the ball to Bruno, who gives it to Lewis Miley, who returns it to Brazilian. He can only give it back to Chow, who finds Joel Linton. Joel Linton gives it to Sandro Tonali. Pace has just dropped out of Newcastle's attack briefly. Tonali, midway inside the Manchester half, comes across from right to left, gives it to Shaw, who finds Gordon, who's just going to try and jink it past Yoro. He doesn't, puts the ball in towards the box. It's headed up in the air by Heaven. Xerxes will try and clear it as well, but only to Lewis Hall, who hit the bar not long ago. Finds Miley, who swings it in towards Visser, who gets up high. Visser's ball finds Joel Linton, who strikes it towards goal. It's blocked and then cleared away again. But the ball will keep coming back. Tonali in the centre circle for Newcastle. Plenty of possession for the away side. Spreads it right to Miley. Miley with Barnes on this right-hand side this time. Barnes tricks away from Cunha. Still has it, tries to play it into Tonali, but his pass is loose. And Dorgu will bring it away over halfway. Tonali leans on him and gives away the foul, and that'll be a yellow card to the Italian. Much to his disgust. Feels like he won the ball. One of those ones where the shoulder goes into the back of the attacker. And Dorgu went to ground. The referee sees that as stopping the play. So Manchester United just buy themselves a little bit of time. It's Martinez, the captain, on halfway. He will pump the ball long towards Cunha, who's had a shot. Didn't think it was going to fall for him. It ended up being Diego Dallo it fell to. Flicked on from the long ball, and Newcastle just let him go, hoping that it was almost going to be offside. I think it would have been very close. Dallo managed to take it down, and it fell on his left foot, and it bounced over the bar in the end. Fabian Schär just let it go over his head, and that would have been an absolute disaster for Newcastle if that found the net. Diego Dallo just floated into space from the very simple long ball. Here come Newcastle again with Guimaraes breaking forward in central position. Goes out left to Gordon. He's finding a little bit of space. He's got Hall outside and breaks into the box, and his cross is straight into the arms of Lomans. And Lewis Hall has his hands on his head. He knows that he could have done better there. Has picked up 2 caps for England on that left side, as plenty of players have had a go in that left back position. He'll be hoping that if he can have a strong end to the season, he might find himself in that World Cup squad. And Newcastle come again on the left hand side. It's Gordon going on the outside of Lloris, swings the ball in towards Visso, does get a foot to it, but it's half cleared again by Manchester United, and Cunha will break it away. Cunha surrounded by plenty of players, but does really well to find Shaw on halfway. Shaw coming forward, he's got Xerxes in front of him, he's got Dorgu to his left, who he uses. Ball is a little bit poor and behind him, so Dorgu has to wait. But Manchester United keep possession in the Newcastle half. Cunha in central area, just finds Shaw out left. Shaw's got Dorgu outside of him, who again he passes to, and Dorgu just flicks it off of Bruno and wins a throw in for his side. And the recently yellow carded Luke Shaw goes to pick the ball up. He's going to have to take this throw a little bit quicker than he did his last one. Goes long towards Xerxes. Xerxes will battle for it with Shaw and Miley, but Miley gives it away to Dorgu right down by the corner flag, and he returns it to Shaw in support. Shaw to Martinez, who just turns his back and finds his centre-back partner Heaven on halfway. And he gives it to Yoro, and Yoro's touch goes all the way back to Lomans. Manchester United have gone from down by the corner flag all the way back to their keeper and still keep possession with Ugarte on halfway. His long ball cannons off of Guimaraes, but Xerxes would keep it down on his chest. Barnes does really well to battle Xerxes and wins it back, and Visser's touch towards Bruno's not a good one. And that gives possession away. Manchester United just trying to keep the ball as best they can. Martinez clips it long. The Xerxes to chase, but Shaw can only spoon it up in the air. And Cunha manages to pick up the second ball, does really well to get away from Miley, but Miley uses his pace to muscle back on the Brazilian. It's all gone a little bit scrappy as Newcastle win themselves a throw-in right in front of the home dugout. 76 minutes gone at Old Trafford, as we see another substitute for the away side. It's going to be Tonali replaced by Joe Willock. Tonali, the midfielder, who was really in charge of trying to pull the strings this evening, replaced by Joe Willock, who will give a bit more running and a bit more legs from those deeper positions. So it's Bruno is now dropped into that quarterback role, and here he is, and Bruno's ended up just running all the way through to the penalty area and wins a corner off of Cunha. So another opportunity for Newcastle. It's their 5th corner of the second half, and with a bit more aerial threat in terms of Joel Linton going forward. It's Lewis Miley who's been tasked with the corner on the far side. So it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Miley steps forward with his orange boot, swings it in towards Lomans, who's clawed at it, and it's cleared off the line by Dorgu, but the whistle had already gone. Dorgu's been absolutely everywhere this evening, and there was a foul given. I think it was for potentially a push from Guimaraes or maybe Anthony Gordon. Again, Manchester United just living dangerously from those set plays. Lomans steps forward and thumps the clearance long. Xerxes can't win his header. And it will go all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale just rolls out quickly to Shaw, who goes left to Lewis Hall. Hall finds Gordon, who sends it first time inside to Guimaraes, who then finds Joel Linton out on the left wing this time. Joel Linton coming forward, tries to put a ball in, hits Ugarte, so he'll get it back again. Ugarte's wrestled him to the ground. Joel Linton still has it and finds Bruno, sends the ball in, hacked away by Aidan Heaven. Xerxes will fight for it on halfway, but Miley comes away with it again. Newcastle just trying to keep this pressure on. Hall spreads it left to Joel Linton. Joel Linton finds his Brazilian teammate Guimaraes, who spreads it for Gordon to break towards the byline, cuts back inside, pulls it back for Joel Linton, who shoots. And it's a tame one in the end. It was on target. Senna Lomans just falls on top of it. Brilliant ball from Bruno to set Anthony Gordon free, and he just laid it back for Joel Linton. He can only side foot it in the end, no real power on it. It's an easy save for Belgium international now. Picked up his first cap in the Belgium goal against Liechtenstein last time out, since his move in the summer to Manchester United. I must say, he made the save look very comfortable. Newcastle come forward yet again with Gordon on the left-hand side. He's found Hall in some space outside of him. Hall's ball is flicked in the air by Yoro and half cleared by Dallow, but will only find Shah halfway inside the Manchester half. Finds Guimaraes. He opens up to Joe Willock, who sends the ball in towards Visso. Wins his knockdown. Finds Gordon on the corner of the box. Gordon tries to give it to Hall outside him, and it's cleared away by Dallow. Dallow's clearance does actually flick off of Lewis Hall as well, so he wins his side a throw deep in his own half. So the pressure's still on the home sides. 80 minutes gone. Still the home side clinging on to that lead. Patrick Dorgu won the strike from 16 yards on the volley. The difference still between the two sides. The second half definitely has belonged to the away team, which can't quite find the net. Manchester United smuggle it away, and here comes Cunha over halfway. He's got Dorgu to his left. He tries to go alone. Left-footed shot is scuffed wide. Just sits down, heavy breathing. He's done a lot of running without the ball tonight, Matheus Cunha. Just really snatched at that strike, left-footed. Newcastle back in possession, coming forward. Malik Chow on halfway as Manchester United players just retreat behind the ball yet again to try and make things as difficult as they can. Barnes and Miley combine on the right hand side for Guimaraes, who then sprays it to Willock, who gets the cross in, and it's good hands again from Lomans. That was whipped in with pace from Joe Willock, running from deep. Might have been in an offside position as well, but he was not to know, the Belgian keeper. Great hands from him. All in green tonight. But just seems to be this attack versus defence session again, as his long ball is won by Newcastle, and they'll try and come away with Joel Linton and Visser trying to combine on the edge of the area. Bodies breaking in there from Manchester to try and win it back. Breaks for Lomans, who can only lump it long towards Xerxes, but again, Newcastle will it on halfway. Shah finds Guimaraes. Guimaraes goes left to Anthony Gordon. Gordon trying to tease Lenny Yoro, but uses Lewis Hall in support, who then gives it back to the England international. He cuts inside on his right foot, finds Joel Linton. Joel Linton just sets it back for Bruno. Bruno about 25 yards from goal, whips it in towards the back post, headed away by Dorga, but only as far as the edge of the box. Miley picks it up with Barnes on the right hand side. Barnes is crosses block, but breaks to Willock. Willock sends it in towards Joel Linton. It's just over his head, and that's going to bounce all the way through. And Lewis Hall can't keep it in. So there'll be a throw in the full-back position for the home team. It's backs to the wall stuff for United, really trying to protect that one-goal lead. Dallow taking plenty of time to dry the ball. He's getting the hurry up from referee Taylor. Dallow comes forward and his throw goes straight to Guimaraes, who spins it into midfield for Miley. And Newcastle will keep possession and come forward again. Shah in the centre circle finds Lewis Hall out on the left. He's got Gordon outside of him, which he uses. Gordon tries to come inside yet again, running across, and Dallow comes with him for company. Gordon's pass is cut out, but again breaks for Newcastle. Chow midway inside the Newcastle half. Miley finds Guimaraes in space, who blazes into Harvey Barnes, who cuts it back for Gordon, and that was a good opportunity, but it's over the bar. Lovely football in the build-up again from the away team. Slick one-touch passing, lovely triangles from Guimaraes and Barnes, and Gordon was running onto it. If anything, he was a little bit behind him when he got the shot away. You can only spoon it over the bar. Hands on heads from Eddie Howe, his manager. He knows that was a good move. 85 minutes gone at Old Trafford. The home side still lead 1-0. Patrick Dorgu's 24th minute volley. His first goal in 38 games for the club. Still the difference. Luke Shaw throws the ball down the line for Xerxes to try and keep possession. Malik Chow will wrestle it off of him. And Newcastle have it back in their own half. Guimaraes picks it up. Plays a nice ball to Joe Willock on halfway. A bit of space for him to run into. Willock's got Barnes outside of him on the right, which he uses. Barnes puts it in first time. Headed away by Martinez. Cleared away by the youngster Fletcher. Pressure still on from Newcastle as they got a throw in. Taken short for Willock. Willock to Bruno. Just comes forward and finds Harvey Barnes again on the right hand side. Barnes floats inside and gives it back to his captain. Lewis Hall now picks it up and finds Gordon. Gordon's only forced to go backwards towards Shah. Every single Manchester United player back behind the ball. Most of them inside the penalty box as Willock picks it up, plays a 1-2 with Guimaraes, who finds Miley, who tries to play a ball in towards Dorgu, who's managed to block it, and then he stayed down. And Taylor's stopped the play, the referee, and the Newcastle players are absolutely furious. So you see it again, he goes to close the ball down, and to be fair, he does take it square in the face, the Denmark international, and Anthony Taylor tells him to make his way off the pitch because needs a little bit of treatment, as we're going to see a double substitution for the home side as they look to try and secure these 3 points. So it's going to be Tyler Fredrickson coming on for Lisandro Martinez, who made his first start since February this evening and has been fantastic. Can't quite make it through the 90 minutes, but as good as, which they'll be really pleased for here. He hands the armband to Diego Dallo. And the other substitute is going to be Luke Shaw coming off. And it's going to be Tyrell Malacia by the looks of things. It is, so a change at left back. Malacia coming on to make his first appearance this year. Spent plenty of time on the bench. But there's two very experienced players leaving the field for Manchester United there in Luke Shaw and Lisandro Martinez. It'll be down to Fredrickson and Malacia to try and keep this clean sheet, which would only be the second of the season if they can make it work. All dropped by referee Anthony Taylor. We're back underway. Lewis Hall picks it up midway inside the Manchester United half. Finds Gordon, who sends it in first time towards Shaw. His header's going towards goal and it's going to land on top of the net. Lovely ball in from Anthony Gordon. First time of asking. Manchester United were currently down to 10 men because Dorgu was still off the pitch. The header harmlessly going over in the end. It's been all Newcastle this second half, apart from Benjamin Sesko hitting the bar for Manchester United on the counter-attack early in the second half. But the clock ticks on to 89 minutes. Ruben Amorim just scrabbling around to try and make another change, I think. To buy himself some time as Joel Linton steals it on the halfway line. Ball forward towards Visser, but cut out by Heaven. It will break for Joe Willock. Willock finds Miley. Miley finds Bruno in space. Trades a pass with Barnes and gets it back from him. Barnes into Lewis Miley. Miley finds Joe Willock again. Every single Manchester United player back behind the ball. Miley going from right to left. Finds Bruno in the centre. Spins it left to Lewis Hall, who goes even further left to Anthony Gordon. Gordon under close watch from Dallo. Pays the ball back to Hall, who gets to the byline, swings it in towards Visser. It's going to bounce for Miley, who shoots towards goal, left-footed. And it's over the bar. Just leaning back. A good ball in from Lewis Hall on the left-hand side, and Visser missed the header. And there's a good touch from Miley to get out of his feet, but swung his left foot, which is his weaker foot, at it, and couldn't hit the target. As we enter 7 minutes of additional time as a minimum. 7 minutes for Newcastle to try and get this equaliser, which you'd have to say they probably deserve in the second half. Been much the better side. Ball forward for Visser to chase, but hooked into the air by the Manchester United defence. Miley can head it forward. That will bounce over halfway for Malik Chow to pick up in the centre circle as he sprints forward. Newcastle throwing everyone forward here. Chow goes right to Miley, who's just missed that chance. Back inside to Bruno, puts the ball in towards Joel Linton, who flicks it towards goal. Again, that will go into the harms of Senna Lomans. He will take all the time that he can, just bouncing the ball 3 or 4 times before sending it long into the Old Trafford sky for Xerxes to chase, but Shah wins his header and Chow will spin it left to Lewis Hall. Newcastle win themselves a free kick and play goes on nice and quickly. Or they like to try and play it quickly, but Anthony Taylor stopped play to book Mateus Cunha for a late challenge on Lewis Hall, the left back. One of those ones where ball had already gone and a bit of a late tackle from the Brazilian. Picked up his first yellow of the season there. 92 minutes gone. We had a minimum of 7 added on. Cunha happy to carry on arguing with the referee. Just trying to buy his side a little bit of time, I imagine. Ramsdale comes sprinting out to take this free kick pretty much on halfway, but then ends up playing it short to Guimaraes, who will bring it forward and plays the ball out left to Lewis Hall, who takes it down first time, finds Anthony Gordon. Gordon tries to wriggle away from the three marking him, but can only find Bruno, who cuts back and finds Hall on the left-hand side. Lewis Hall finds Bruno again. Miley returns it to Bruno, who's under plenty of pressure from Xerxes. Manchester United camped on the edge of their area. 93 minutes gone. Bruno picks it up in space and tries to play a diagonal ball in towards the box, and Lomans has come all the way and claimed it really well. Much to the applause from the home fans, but also his defensive partners. The ball in on the angle from Bruno, which is a little bit too floated. It allowed him to come and take the claim. And his long ball has been won by Xerxes. It just gives the home side a little bit of possession. It's with Heaven on halfway, who tries to clip it forward, but eventually ends up with Cunha. Wasn't the intended target. Cunha's crowded out by Joe Willock and some others, and Newcastle will come again. Lewis Hall over the halfway line. He's got Gordon outside him, who he uses. Gordon just still floats inside and finds Bruno. Bruno points and finds Joel Linton, plays a nice 1-2, then gets it back to Gordon, who tries to swing a ball in towards the back post, and Lomans has dropped it this time, and it's still around. And Lomans eventually manages to fall on it under pressure from Lewis Miley. The cross looked like it was going to be too deep from Gordon. Senna Lomans made a bit of a hash of it, but claimed it on the second attempt. Sends his ball long again towards Xerxes, who wins the flick on, but only find Malik Chow. And he will return it to Aaron Ramsdale, who has had very little to do in his second half. Did see that Sesko attempt thunder off the crossbar, but other than that, hasn't really done an awful lot. Miley over halfway. Finds Guimaraes. Spreads it left to Lewis Hall to run into space on the left-hand side. Goes out wide again to Anthony Gordon. 95 minutes gone. Gordon cuts back inside, but fakes the cross and goes on the outside, puts a left-footed cross in, and this time it floats all the way through. Disappointing ball from Anthony Gordon. That'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. Exactly what they needed. Just sliced off his foot a little bit, and it floated through everyone. And once Lomans decided that that was going to be clear, just gave everyone the shout and has brought his side a good 30 seconds or so here. 95.5 minutes gone. We had a minimum of 7 added on. The Red Devils still lead 1-0 here at Old Trafford. Lomans' ball is going to bounce all the way through to Chow just outside his own area. Chow will come forward once more. Chow still going a good 50 yards and then clips the ball out left towards Gordon, who tries to flick it on first time towards Joel Linton, who does pick it up and gives it back to Gordon, who finds a bit of space, plays the ball in towards Hall, and it's cut out by Yoro. And Dorgu will bring it away. The goal scorer could be the match winner. Gets to halfway. Just puts his foot on it and goes back to Malacia, who sends it long towards Xerxes, but his touch isn't good enough to bring it down. It will roll through to Ramsdale, picks it up and rolls it out for Hall. And Hall will sprint over the halfway line. Hall then sends it long and central towards Visser, but headed away by Dorgu. Cunha will try and bring it away, but only runs out of room, so Willock would take the throw in. Time really ticking close to the end now. 96.5 minutes gone. 7 was the minimum. 7 minutes. As everyone inside Old Trafford looks at the referee. Still play goes on. Bruno finds Lewis Hall, clips it forward towards Joel Linton. Headers won by Manchester United. Cunha can bring it clear. Cunha against Chow. wins inside, a throw in, and the referee blows the final whistle. Patrick Dorgu's won the strike is enough for Manchester United to take the 3 points on Boxing Day. It was a very testing second half for Ruben Amorim's side, but that goal in the first half was good enough for them to be victorious, and they will find themselves this evening in 5th place in the Premier League, rising above Liverpool, who will be able to respond in the coming days. But Manchester United steal the victory this evening in the Premier League. That 24th minute strike, Patrick Dorgu's first goal for the club, his first goal in 38 appearances, thundering it past the diving Aaron Ramsdale. The second half saw plenty of possession and plenty of opportunities for Newcastle. Benjamin Sesko for the home side did hit the bar on the counter-attack, but after that it was a barrage of Newcastle pressure. Lewis Hall hitting the bar himself with a great strike from 25 yards, and then had another volley almost in an identical position to goal scorer Patrick Dorgu, blocked. There was a cry for a penalty after Fabien Schär stabbed the ball towards goal, and it appeared to hit captain Lisandro Martinez on the arm, but referee and VAR decided that no penalty was given, as it did hit his chest before it hit his arm in the build-up. Newcastle knocked on the door but weren't able to get the equaliser that they probably did deserve in the grand scheme of things. But in the end of the day, it's Manchester United who will leave Old Trafford on Boxing Day with the 3 points. Thank you for joining us on Flash Score for Premier League Matchday 18. I've been Matt Roberts. I hope you've enjoyed our commentary that has been brought to you. It is ended here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Newcastle 0.
Monday.